Was really good. We back with another boxing video. Gonna top off this early morning ground with some Konstantin Ponomarev talk. This your boy CJ Goodfella back with the boxing clinic, and we have a reason for Konstantin Ponomarev pulling out the IBF title eliminator versus Carlis Ocamopo. That would have made him the mandatory to Errol Spence's belt. Most people said that Ponomarev was ducking Errol Spence. He already turned down an IBF eliminator versus Errol Spence to right to fight Kell Brook. You know, he's supposed to be this good Russian fighter with a lot of talent. So, you know, he waited the week of the fight to pull out versus Carlis Ocamopo. And the reason was that Abel Sanchez wasn't going to be able to accommodate him and make his corner. And be in his corner because he had a show out in Fresno, California, that he was working somebody else's corner. And Team Ponomarev, you know, when Top Rank won the purse bid, asked, you know, Top Rank to move the fight to their California show, which in my opinion would have been a great show, you know, because they got you know, better be fighting a nobody for the title, and Jose Ramirez versus Mike Reed is going to be a good fight. Konstantin Ponomarev and Carlis Ocamopo could have been probably the top billing of the fight, you know what I'm saying? Probably been one of the best fights of the night, including Luis Arias and Wack and Danny Jacobs fighting all those good fights, and you got Josh Taylor taking on Miguel Vasquez tomorrow. It could have been easily the best fight of the whole day with a lot of boxing. But, you know, Top Rank chose to keep it in Mexico. And, you know, Ponomarev, you know, didn't want to go on without Abel Sanchez, but that's not even the full dip. And full dip is, like, when you get deeper into this article, which I linked to the description, you know, Ponomarev team didn't want to go to Mexico. They request for the fight to be moved to California or somewhere outside of Mexico because they didn't believe they was going to get a fair shake. And they said the judging in Mexico can be sketchy, and that's where Carlis Ocamopo is from. So he didn't want to go fight an IBF eliminator once again because he didn't want to go into the guy's hometown. And I don't know if Carlis Ocamopo is promoted by Top Rank. Maybe he is, especially if, you know, Top Rank has a lot of stock in Konstantin Ponomarev. Why would they send him to Mexico if they didn't have promotional ties to Carlis Ocamopo? So they didn't feel confident going to Mexico getting a decision. Ponomarev isn't a big puncher anyway. Carlis Ocamopo got a good record just like Ponomarev does. It seemed like they wanted to be on a more neutral playing ground. It was deeper than Abel Sanchez to me. They didn't want to go to Mexico, period. And, you know, this guy's pulled out of 2 title eliminators already. And who going to take him serious, man? Who going to want to fight this guy now, man? With him pulling out of fights, not being confident. Why was the contract even signed? He said the fight was supposed to originally take place in October 30th, they said. But you talked to your promoter. You knew your promoter, unless they was playing you, was leaning towards that fight going on November 11th in Mexico. Sounds a little bit sketchy. Sounds like Team Ponomarev don't have no confidence in Ponomarev himself. And if that's the case, back to the gym and back to work with Abel Sanchez and get some top-notch sparring. And you in a division where, you know, right, left, up, down, back, forward, anywhere in between, it's going to be danger, you know. You know, you in a welterweight division, you ain't nowhere to hide. You know, if you can squeeze down to 140, I would recommend you squeeze down to 140. Because, you know, if you don't want to fight Carlis Ocamopo, and it's a lot of more killers at 147 that could knock your engine block off, man, Ponomarev. But this was premeditated right here. You know, they know they wasn't taking that fight in Mexico, but I think they pulled out the week of the fight just to prove a point to Top Rank. So I can see some promotional severance ties coming between Top Rank and Ponomarev. We know Top Rank don't let nobody lead Top Rank unless they just damage goods and they just finish. So Ponomarev is going to have to dig in his pockets or go hire Al Heyman or somebody or the best lawyers that Russia or America or Puerto Rico or Canada or Australia has to offer to get him out this contract. And I think that's what they had a standstill, according to the article. That's what I'm getting out of it. They had a standstill. Seems like there's going to be some promotional head clashing. It seems like they've been communicating with Top Rank for quite some time about trying to get this fight moved back to the California show with the Abel Sanchez thing. And I think Top Rank knew it was deeper than that. I think they knew they didn't want to go to Mexico. And it sounds like maybe Ponomarev contract might be up with Top Rank because for them to set one of their prestigious foreign fighters up in Mexico for a title eliminator sound like some BS to me. if you value him as a fighter, why wouldn't you want to have this fight, you know, somewhere neutral like California? So it sounds like Ponomarev might be by getting out of that Top Rank contract soon, and he is being set up to be, you know, to be his record to be blemished on his way out. So he said he's gonna go back to Russia and, you know, see what happens. You know, see what Top Rank got to offer. But I think he's at the end of his contract, and this seems like a Bob Arum special with the lettuce, tomatoes, bacon, you know, mayo on both sides, Swiss cheese, whatever you like. Sound like some Top Rank BS. And I'm telling you guys, I don't know why guys be signing with Top Rank, because Bob will front you that signing bonus money. But at the end of the day, he going to get his money worth out of you. And you ain't going to never leave him. It's like going to be on Death Row Records. You're going to go one way, you're going to get beat up and get killed. The only way you going out. But let me know what y'all think. We gone.